What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another Daily Deck Tech video, and back with another viewer request. And today we have the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, and I kind of went a little nuts on this one, alright? So this one's not low budget, however, feel free to proxy, or feel free to tune it how you want to see it. But, before we get into the Deck Tech today, if you like my Daily Deck Techs, History as Commander, Magic for the Working Class, or anything else in between, feel free to subscribe, only if you feel I've earned it. And now, without further ado, also, if you want to see your commander made into a deck tech, drop it in the comments down below, or fill out the Google form in the video description. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So we have the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. She's a 4/4 for 1 generic and triple green, and do you like squirrels? Whenever the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl enters or attacks, create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I love squirrels. You pay 4 and you can create X 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens where X is the number of squirrels you control. Okay, so first and foremost, the reason that this deck is so expensive is because there are some very expensive cards in Magic the Gathering that help this deck have some infinite combos in it. This is not a low bracket deck. We have 3 game changers in here. We're running Biorhythm, Worldly Tutor, and Natural Order, but we are running several redundant infinite combos. So, using Squirrel Girl, we're going to have some squirrels. Then we're going to make it so those squirrels can produce mana. And then that's going to help us exponentially create infinite squirrels. So how are we going to do this? Well, I did group things today. So this is our infinite squirrels package. There's multiple combos in here, okay? So this has tap an untapped creature you control to untap target basic land. And Squirrel Nest is Enchanted Land. Enchanted Land has tap and create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. So Earthcraft is the ability to tap a creature, so regardless of the squirrel not having haste, you are able to tap it using Earthcraft to untap the land with Squirrel Nest, and this will generate you infinite squirrels. So then, say you do this, and you have, enough to tap for 4, you then get whatever you want for a number. You do have to pick a number. You can't choose infinite. You have to choose a number. So we're going to say 69 billion. Nice. And so say you choose 69 billion for your squirrels, and that way you will get 69 billion here. Nice once again. That's pretty good. Now, other things that we have in here, we're going to be using cards such as Jaheira, Friend of the Forest, Enduring Vitality, Cryptolith Rite, Elven Chorus, or Spring Relief Parade. All of these do the same thing. They allow our tokens to tap for mana. Jaheira allows them to tap for green. Enduring Vitality turns them into Birds of Paradise. We have Cryptolith Rite, which, again, Birds of Paradise. Elven Chorus turns them into Birds of Paradise as well. Also, this one lets you look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can cast creature spells from the top of it. And then Spring Relief Parade, which drops down a little shapeshifter token, and then tokens you control have Birds of Paradise ability. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. So then you combo those with things like Concordant Crossroads and Shang-Chi, which allow... Concordant Crossroads is all creatures have haste. Shang-Chi is you may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures have haste. Also, you can spend 2 mana, or you can tap to add 2 mana of any one color for Shang-Chi to use on activated abilities of creatures you control. So you have to have at least 4 squirrels out here to start getting this going, right? So you get your 4 squirrels out, you tap them for green. That generates 4 more squirrels, right? You then tap those 4 squirrels for green, and this will generate 8 because you have the original tapped 4 plus the new tapped 4, and then then you tap 4 of those 8, creating, more and more exponential growth in the amount of squirrels that you're going to create. And a lot of those will be untapped and have haste because Concordant Crossroads, if you have the Concordant Crossroads out there. See why I said this deck gets expensive? This card's $35 on its own already. Earthcraft is a $300 card. You can always drop the Earthcraft Squirrel Nest combo, but it is a 2-card combo that is pretty good. Yeah, so there you go. Generate squirrels. We do have another combo that I wanted to keep separate to explain it. So, we have Scurry Oak. Combos with a ham sandwich, really. It has Evolve, and whenever one or more 1/1 counters are put on Scurry Oak, you may create a 1/1 green squirrel token. Well, you have Ivy Lane Denizen out here, and whenever another green creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. So, what you're going to do is have these two in play, and then you play... you either generate a green squirrel token or play a green creature. That starts the loop of Ivy Lane Denizen, putting a 1/1 counter on Scurry Oak generating a green squirrel, which activates Ivy Lane, and etc. For Honored Dray Leader, Trample, when it enters, put a 1/1 counter on it for each other squirrel or food you control, and whenever another squirrel or food enters, put a 1/1 counter on Honored Dray Leader. So he... just adding him in here, if you have all three, can make him infinitely large as well, which is pretty good. Just overall, good fun times. See, we have lots of combos. Now, for artifacts, we have a couple ways to win out, right? So first, we need to be able to draw out. And with us potentially having as many hasty mana producing squirrels as we need, we can Skull Clamp to draw through our deck to find win conditions. Now, win conditions in this deck, we have Altar of the Brood, which is whenever another permanent you control enters, each opponent mills a card, which is pretty good. You put this in here, you drop it down early, and then you just start pooping out squirrels and milling your opponents into oblivion. Generally speaking, mill isn't very good in Commander. However, if you get this out there with the Earthcraft Squirrel Nest combo, you can just win the game right then and there. We have Coat of Arms, which will make all of your squirrels just enormous. Giant, beefy squirrels that are, going to defeat everything. We do have Swift Boots in here for a little bit of protection. And we also have Chitter Spitter. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can sacrifice a token. If you do, put an Acorn counter on Chitter Spitter. And squirrels you control get +1/+1 for each Acorn counter on Chitter Spitter. You can also pay 1 green and tap it to create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. Alright, now we have our creatures. We have more win conditions in here, right? Of course, Craterhoof Behemoth is a win condition. It's a easy green win condition, right? For other stuff, we have the Circle of Dreams Druid. You get to tap a green for each creature you control. Pretty good. Elvish Mystic is also a mana dork. Llanowar Elves, Fanatic of Ronus. Those are your mana dorks. We also have a pseudo mana dork in Support of Parents, which is tap 2 untapped creatures you control, add 1 mana of any color. We also have Deep Forest Hermit, which is Vanishing 3, and when Deep Forest Hermit enters, you create 4 1/1 green squirrels, and squirrels you control get +1/+1. I did not put the other, or did I? No, I did not put the super expensive Squirrel Lord in here. I could have, but we're at like $800. We aren't going to go super hemsy-pamsy beyond that, right? Like, this deck is already way high up there in cost. Vanishing 3, of course, when the last counter is removed from it, it dies. We have Citadel Hierophants. Oh, you know what? This goes in Infinite Squirrels. So the Hierophants does the same thing. It lets you add a green mana. For here, we have Essence Warden. You can generate infinite life with your squirrels. Also, just having lots of life to stabilize is always good. Card needs more reprints. Nut Collector, at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a 1/1 green squirrel creature token into play. Threshold, all squirrels get +2/+2. 1 second, friends. As I was saying, we have Nut Collector. We also put Peregrine Took in here because I really like making food tokens. So if one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food counter or a food token are made instead. You can sacrifice 3 foods to draw a card. So this will also help you draw through your entire deck if you generate the infinite like squirrels, right? We have Toski. You know, he can't be countered, indestructible. Attacks each combat if able, and whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So if you have like a bunch of squirrels, but not enough to win the game, if you can get them through anywhere, they can draw you most of your deck, hopefully, and then be able to get you into your win condition. We have Scurry of Squirrels. It's a 2/2 for 3 with Myriad, so it'll generate a bunch of squirrels. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. We have Squirrel Mob. Squirrel Mob gets +1/+1 for each other squirrel on the battlefield. It's just a big squirrel. Squirrel Sovereign. Other squirrels get +1/+1. It's a Squirrel Lord. Thorn Vault Forager is a mana dork, and then you can also forage to add 2 mana in any combination, which is exiling 3 cards from your graveyard. You can also pay 4 to search your library for a squirrel card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. We also have Tippy Toe Terrific Partner. If you would create 1 or more tokens, instead create those tokens plus an additional food token. Yeah, but Tippy Toe Terrific Partner is a 2/4 for 4. Like I said, if you would create 1 or more tokens, you instead create those tokens plus an additional food token. So it's just 1 mana more Peregrine Toque. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, draw a card. Also a nice little draw outlet. For our enchantments, we have Doubling Season. I had to throw it in here. Same with Parallel Lives. And each of these are coming in over $30. That's, this is why we need more reprints in Magic the Gathering. This is a side tangent. I can throw it up here or something. But the fact that we don't have like stable core sets for reprints anymore means that we are stuck getting reprints in the form of these special prints like this, which are printed at a lower amount, and some of them end up only being in collector booster packs, which does not bring down the price of the cards because it does not create enough supply to lower and flood the market. Absolutely awful. I mean, like Doubling Season got several reprints in addition to this Ninja Turtle ones, and it's still sitting at $35. Jeepers Wizards, it shouldn't be that hard to print game pieces that are affordable for everybody. The more people who can afford your game, the more people who have economic access to your game will generate long-term loyal customers who you might not like, and the profit is regardless, right? Like, if you have desirable cards like Doubling Season, it doesn't matter if they're like $30. The investor class, they're gonna come and go, right? They're gonna pump and dump your game. The players who actually play the game are going to buy the packs because they see these cards in them, even if they're more common, and opening them up feels better. I don't know. Who am I to say? We have Heroic Feast. When this enchantment enters, create a food token, and whenever you gain life, choose up to that many target creatures you control. Put a 1/1 counter on each of them. We also have our instance in here. We got Beast Within for removal, Crow's Grip to pop an artifact or enchantment, and then we have our Fog, Obscuring Haze, right? We have Tamiyo's Safekeeping, Heroic Intervention. These are all protection spells. We do have Harrow in here for some ramp. We have Second Harvest to put a token copy of each token you control in play. Worldly Tutor, one of our game changers in here, searches for a creature card, reveals it, and puts it on top. Verdant Command. This makes 2 squirrels, or you can counter target loyalty ability of a planeswalker, which is bizarre. That's a weird ability on a card that doesn't get seen ever. Exile target card from a graveyard, or target player gains 3 life. We have Vitalize, untap all creatures you control. For our lands, we do have Evendo, because, like I said, we are already at $844. I'm not going to throw Gaia's Cradle in here. I could have thrown Growing Rights of Itlimoc in, but I was already kind of packed tight on slots. Evendo, it, once stationed, becomes a Gaia's Cradle. We have 34 Force, a Rogue's Passage, and a 3-Tree City, which is also $38. For our sorceries, we are running Biorhythm. We're gonna try it, right? We're gonna try to win with the Biorhythm, see what we can do. For ramp, we've got Kodama's Reach, we've got Rampant Growth in here, we've got Cultivate in here. I am running Harvest Season, which is a sorcery for 3, and search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number of tapped creatures you control. Put those cards onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. If you have enough squirrels, you might just get every land in your deck, and then it's just value town. We have Call Damage Control. It's like Regrowth, but you choose to return those cards from your graveyard to your hand. An artifact, a creature, enchantment, and a land card. Speaking of Regrowth, we did run that in here to get our stuff back in case somebody breaks our combo pieces. We have Time of Need, which lets you tutor up a legendary creature card and put it into your hand. We have Natural Order. Sack a green creature, search for a green creature, put it in the battlefield. We have Overrun in here for a win con. We have Triumph of the Hordes in here. We have Chatterstorm, so if you're able to just start drawing through your entire deck via all the mana and all that stuff that you have with the Skull Clamp and the Infinite Squirrels, etc., and playing all the things in your library, then you can just Chatterstorm out to generate even more squirrels. We do have Chatter of the Squirrel in here. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward there. There we go. That is we've got ourselves a good deck. Now let's see what we have here. We have, let's see. Well, you know, we did good here. I'm going to drop a forest. Next turn, forest. May as well. Rampant Growth this turn. View library. We're going to grab a forest. Close and shuffle. Next turn, we're going to untap. We could drop a forest this turn, or we could drop Squirrel Girl this turn. We do have one of our combo enablers in here, but I am actually going to Harrow. I'm going to sacrifice this forest to view library. We're going to grab a forest. We're going to grab a forest. We're going to shuffle. We're just going to ramp these first couple turns, right? People know that Squirrel Girl is strong, and so they're probably not going to allow your Squirrel Girl to live very long. So we may as well drop out some stuff that is going to, you know, soak up some of the we're putting Enduring Vitality out there. So we played those two. Ooh, we have Concordant Crossroads. We have one squirrel. This turn, I'm going to play Honor Dray Leader. Actually, tap this. We're going to put him into play first. Then we're going to play Honor Dray Leader. So whenever another green creature enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. We're going to put it on the Honor Dray Leader. And then when he enters, put a 1 counter on it for each other squirrel and or food control. We control one other. There we go. So we have 2 of the squirrels that we need to be able to move on this deck, right? So let's see. Let's see what we can do here in turn 1. If I tap 1, 2, 3, 4, this will generate 2 squirrels. Add token, squirrel. I am going to drop Concordant Crossroads. Now all my stuff has aced. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, he's just going to get infinite. These are like, things are getting big, right? With the counters, just assume they're there. So they tap for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We create 4 squirrels. And like I said, in the deck tech portion, we are going to go like that. This will then activate and create 8 squirrels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 squirrels, which then you only need to tap 4 of them. So people need to stop. And you can do this at instant speed. That's the thing. This works at instant speed because it's an activated ability. So like say right here, they try to destroy it. You just activate this again. So then the ability goes on the stack. This ability resolves, which will generate the squirrels, generating this. So these squirrels will go in, putting another trigger on the stack, which then allows you another chance to respond with the now 16 squirrels you will have, etc., etc., so forth. So here's your infinite army of squirrels. This happened on like turn 6. Restart. I didn't run Soul Ring and stuff in here because I felt like the deck could already be fast enough. But yeah, here's a couple more hands. This one's a lot more lands in it than anything. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I am Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.